When investors and people look at your product, they want to see what have you done so far and why should I invest into that?
This is Dave Meltzer with Entrepreneurs The Playbook. Outside at South by Southwest with the Orakpo brothers, Michael and Brian. Welcome to The Playbook.
Appreciate it.
Sir.
Thanks for having us.
Well, you know, as much as I want to talk about football, because both of you played very, very well, you're still playing. I'm more interested, and it started with my curiosity just with the commercial, right? The Cupcake Company. And then I found out the Cupcake Company is nothing compared to what your brother has going on. Athlete Connect. So, Mike, you know, how did you come up with the idea to start your own company first of all?
Man, you know, I think it first started when I was a trainer myself, you know, and I saw how many kids it just needed the development. I was that athlete as well. You know, I was that athlete that needed that development, needed that extra coaching to get myself to the next level. I wasn't a 5-star athlete coming out like my brother, you know, but I was still a pretty good athlete, winning on and played some Division I football. But shortly after, when I got done playing, I knew that there was a serious problem, and that was it just is a lot of athletes and there's not enough coaches and to be able to link up and connect with these athletes and get to the point where they're helping them, you know, develop quality coaches who can develop some of these athletes to get them to the next level.
You know, there's a million great ideas, especially now that we can all build an app, right?
Yeah.
Everyone comes up with the ideas, and one of the biggest fears of entrepreneurs when they come up with an idea is like, well, I got to either tell my mom, my brothers, my family, my wife, you know, the biggest fear. Now, it makes it even worse, I think, when you're an athlete, because the first thing that people say, why isn't your brother just paying for everything, right?
Yeah.
And Brian, you have your own businesses as well, but you're still playing. And that's a pretty big feat. How do you balance that pressure that, you know, you have your younger brother, you have your business and football? How are you balancing everything to still be such a responsible entrepreneur?
Well, it comes with experience. You know, you get to a point where you kind of can hone in your craft. You know what it takes to be an elite athlete. You know, I have a great regimen, I have a great training staff, to where I can always be in tip-top optimal shape. And like I said, with experience, you learn how the NFL works. You learn what it takes to be at that elite level, to where now year 5, 6, 7 years into the league, I can start transitioning to get ready for post-career, but also maintaining playing at a high level. And that's what I was able to do. I got into my groove with the NFL and still playing. Now I can transition to post-career with all the time that I may have, work with my brother, we're doing Athlete Connect, work with the cupcake, Gigi's Cupcakes that I'm doing now, and all other different investments I may have, just to put them all together.
Well, you know, it's enough pressure to start a business. 90% of all first-time businesses fail. Money's involved, and nobody ever, no matter how much we love our family, nobody wants to lose money, let alone our family's money.
Absolutely.
And also, you know, disappoint our moms. You know, and was your mom at all concerned about you two working together?
You want that?
I think she was. I wouldn't say concerned, but you know, me and my brother, we're two alphas. You know, we're two alphas. Sometimes when you meet two alphas, they clash sometimes. But no, I think we have a great working relationship because we know kind of our roles and we let each other, you know, stay in their role and do it to the best. You know, so I think you know, we developed a great partnership together.
And Brian, when you get pissed, right? No, seriously, like I have brothers, right? But I got more brothers than you, and my brother's a rabbi, so it's even harder to get mad at him. But a lot of people want to know this. You know, we're in business together, and we get mad at our sibling, and it may not even have to do with business. What goes through your mind, or how do you handle, like, man, I'm mad at Mike. Like, how are you going to communicate to him? Do you walk on eggshells because you're worried you're going to hurt his feelings, or how do you deal with Mike when you're mad at him?
Well, no, I don't walk on eggshells. Mike knows I'm very, very direct. You know, I let him know if he's doing anything wrong, or whatever the case may be. If it's a disagreement, we're gonna if it needs to be a shouting match, we're gonna get it out. But the next day we're good. Like at least we got it out in the air. I'm not gonna walk on eggshells. We're not gonna sugarcoat anything. I think it needs to be out in the open and express you can agree to disagree. And we do that all the time. We feed ideas and back and forth all the time, and the stuff that we may not agree on. And yeah, we may get pissed off at each other, but at the end of the day, we're still family. We're still, love one another. We want the best for one another, and get it out the way. Yeah. Get it out now, and then forever hold your peace, and that's what we do. And the next day, we're back to normal, and we can move forward.
That's awesome. And do you have problems illuminating? Because every business has a problem.
Right.
Almost every day.
Right.
And every business person makes a mistake every day.
Right.
Do you have a problem kind of illuminating that, or are you worried when you're calling Brian and saying, "Hey, man, I screwed this up," or
Yeah, I mean, no, I wouldn't say that, because we have when we're working on business stuff, we're really not brothers at that point. We're really business partners, and we don't ever mix the two. So when we do with personal stuff and family stuff, we're not talking about business at all. Then when we go into business mode, we're not talking about family stuff at all. So I think we do.
Do they mix if you guys get mad? Do you ever bring up something? Well, in the 5th grade, does that ever
like
come
we
there?
don't mix it.
No,
we really don't mix it. I think that's why it's been a great relationship so far.
Yeah.
Because we try to not mix the two.
Yeah, you have to respect, each lane. It's how it is with family and business. It's hard. It's very hard at times. So you have to respect that lane. So if we're talking business, it's just business. I'm not gonna give you the benefit of the doubt because you're my brother. It's the same. If it doesn't make sense, we're not doing it. Period.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna do something just because we're family.
You guys have the app side, right?
Yeah.
The Cupcakes fun and the commercial. We were talking about masculinity and femininity, and you're really doing a great job bringing men and women together in an entrepreneurial way. But I'm most interested in Athlete Connect,
Right?
Because there's so many people that are starting apps.
Right.
And I believe there's a lot of businesses that are Tinderizing the business, meaning, hey, I can match what's needed.
Right.
That's a type of business in a shared economy.
Right.
What do you think the biggest hurdle is today for that type of app that you're doing? What's your biggest hurdle in both of your perspectives, either one?
Well, I think the biggest hurdle is not even the app itself. The biggest hurdle is getting the app out. Getting people to know about the app, getting people to like the app. What's crazy is people develop apps and they don't even know if their ideal client even likes the damn thing,
Right.
So what you need to find out is to make sure that whatever you're building, that your audience likes it first. So what I think what stands out with what we're doing is we're building from the inside out. We're not just gonna build an app and then just go national with it. We want to go into different areas and make sure that these people are actually liking the product and making sure that they love the product. And then from there, we're going to slowly scale from there.
Yeah, same thing. Make sure it works.
Yeah.
Make sure the project works, man. And that's why it's been a slow, methodical process with us. When we're releasing this thing, and Athlete Connect it's gonna be huge, but we're taking our time, making sure we get the kinks out. That's the biggest thing. I think guys want to just rush and do everything and just get it out there, put a face on there, and then just let it grow. I think it's best for us to take our time.
Which is smart, right? I always say get alignment, take action, prepare for adjustment, right? I call it the AAA strategy. Well, when you start a cupcake business, it's obvious how you make money.
Yeah.
Right? No one's asking you, well, how do you make money?
Yeah.
How do you think you guys are going to make money with the app?
We're simple. So the actual platform of the app is free in terms of you being able to go on there and actually find your coach. But just like Airbnb, for example, you aren't built until you actually book the house.
Right.
So when we're the bridge to where whenever we help this particular athlete find a coach and they actually purchase a session there, then we will be taking a percentage will go actually into the app, back to the company. So that's how we'll monetize that percentage base.
And how, as far as adoption, you need coaches, right? The better the coaches, the better the app. Right?
Absolutely.
And that's an advantage that you two have, is you've been in the business in two different aspects. You've been in the training side yourself, with coaches, working with them, as well as being coached when you were younger, being a D1 athlete, and you've been coached as well.
Exactly.
And you know a ton of guys that retired that have become specialty coaches.
Correct.
But your app isn't just for football, right? It's for men and women in all sports. How are you choosing what sports to start with?
Well, we're choosing football as of right now because that's our expertise. That's our expertise. That's what we specialize in. We already have a plan to grow each and every other sport eventually, But as of right now, to start off, we're going to specify football. It's what we know, what we're accustomed to. And then, like I said, we're just going to expand from there. I think it's just like any other app. You need to start to have a base, have a foundation. Use Uber, for example. Uber and Lyft and all these companies came out. There wasn't the XL, there wasn't carpool share, there wasn't the luxury Uber.
Eats, don't forget Uber Eats. You're 260, man. Tell me you don't use Uber Eats in Tennessee. There's some good food there.
Now you call Uber Eats, now you don't have to leave the house. I call Uber Eats. But Uber
you don't even get to walk afterwards anymore. You just eat.
You just eat and call a car.
But it's so good, but so bad.
Yes.
But now, like that company, it's one car. It's one area, and then once you're able to grow, learn the business, understand the business, your clientele loves you, you're able to expand.
One of the things I see about your business out there is that there's a lot of people playing around in it. Right? I mentioned one of the companies that I know that has a huge, but there's so many different areas, I think, for channel partnerships.
Right.
So what timing, because I'm working through this, because I'm telling you, from entrepreneurs, they DM me 100 people a day, and these questions, and I'm giving them my advice from my perspective of listening, but I'd rather them learn from people that are actually doing it. When is the right time to start doing the due diligence, reaching out for channel partners? Is it now that you have the app done, or are you going to wait a little bit longer to see how the kinks will align later?
I mean, I'm a firm believer of just putting your shoes on, buckling up, and going out there and doing what you need to do to get it out first. Because there's everybody is looking for investments and funding and this and that, and it's just like, you haven't even monetized, you haven't even begun to do anything yet. And when investors and people look at your product, they want to see, what have you done so far, and why should I invest into that? So if they can see the future in what you're doing currently, then it'll come. So I would definitely say after.
It's so funny because most people don't take this perspective, especially when they have a name already. They just assume, I have my name.
I'm gonna throw it on there.
Exactly.
It's gonna be huge.
Right? And that's why we lose money.
That's not true.
But I love your perspective because it's so true. They'll tell me when to raise money. I said, look, you can't raise money when you don't have truly revenue, because you got to bootstrap it. Because if you do raise money from someone, they're going to take so much of your company. You guys probably remember a helmet company that came out. My friend played quarterback at Harvard. He raised $40 million, and I kept telling him, hey, you raised the money too early, right? Because now someday they're going to end up taking your company and firing you, right? The board, and it could happen as early as this. I actually had a guy call me. It's a great medical application. They won the Cox Award for the best small business in Orange County. And they asked me to be an advisor. And in fairness, I helped introduce them to people, give them structure, all this stuff. Well, now they're ready to raise real money. It's really successful business, and they have to come back to all the advisors and said, the VC said, we need to take away your shares, dilute you, because we're not able to raise money because we don't know. I'm like, look, I'm going to help you because I didn't do this to hurt you, but you now have liability, right? Because any one of these guys, what happens is, just so people know, if you raise money too early in that situation, then you got to go back and dilute the people because it's family and friends that helped you. This is the danger. You got cousin Sue over here, and she says, fine, I got 50,000 shares, knock me down to 10 so you guys can raise 5 million now. Then what happens? You're a $2 billion company. And cousin Sue's like, wait a second.
Yeah.
I made I could have had 10 million.
Yeah.
Guess what comes when you're going after 10 million? Nice lawsuit.
Lawsuit.
And guess
That's
what?
it.
Cousin Sue then tells all the other people, and then you got a big ass
lawsuit.
right.
Yeah.
And it all started on a couch like this because we're not thinking, I got to provide value first,
Right.
And then where though? Do you? I would say the exit of what you want. Do you want to build a company or do you want to sell it?
That's a great
That's
question.
a great question. And then who knows? I honestly, who knows, man? We want to build, man. We love this. We love this company. We put our time and effort. We've been doing this, working on this thing since 2015. He actually brought it to me 2015. I told him, no, it's not ready. We need to go back and get it and make it perfect. So to answer your question, who knows? But we want to make sure we want to keep it in the our Orakpo brand and go from there, and we'll see what happens.
I'll give you way back when I was on Silicon Valley and they say, what's your exit strategy? And I say to provide shareholder value.
Right.
Right. That's a good because that way. Because I mean, honestly, as much as you want to build a company, if I offered you $1 billion today, you'd be foolish not to take it.
Right.
I'm not doing it by the way. That's the real. I'm not giving any offers today. But maybe in the future when you got a real valuation, I'm here.
You definitely take the deals that make sense. We're not going to be stupid and turn down opportunities, but at the same time, like Mike said, we want to make sure we grow this thing. Make sure it's proven. Make sure our clientele loves it, and that's the whole purpose.
Now, I've gotten to know you guys a little bit now, which is great. I recruited you years and years ago as Lee Steinberg. And so I know your character, but I know that the app and the businesses that both of you are involved with, it's more than money.
Right.
What impact are you looking to have with the business? Where's that passion as far as changing the world?
Man, like I said, like Mike said earlier, it's really for the young generation, the guys that give them that platform, that opportunity. And girls. Correct.
I know because you were preaching it with me today.
You're absolutely right.
We know, it's boys and girls.
Boys and girls, give them that opportunity to develop, give them that opportunity to be better, to be the best they can be. Not everybody will make it to the NBA, the NFL, the WNBA, whatever the case may be. But it's to make themselves better in whatever field they want to go into. Give them that confidence. And that's the most important thing for us.
And Mike, what piece of advice would you, because you've been doing this since 2015,
Right.
you had to go to your brother and say, hey man, I got this great idea. And he said, calm down, let's do this right. Good wisdom.
Right.
But what advice would you give, and this is a popular question to me, to a young entrepreneur that maybe has to rely on a family member? What advice would you give them when you're starting up?
Well, my biggest advice is invest into yourself. I don't think he started taking the thing serious until I started putting money into it. And then he really saw that it was that I was serious about it. So invest into yourself first and start building out what you want to accomplish, and then that's when people can start to take you serious. It's amazing how people want other people to finance, invest kind of their own ideas, but they really haven't put that much into it yet themselves. So.
And Brian, you get hit up a lot for deals, right?
Correct.
People, so
absolutely.
you
know it too,
yeah, and I get it. But it's interesting because I think that's a great point. I look for people, that whole thing when they're like, sweat equity, I've been like sweat equity. I'm like, look, everybody has sweat equity. You're doing something. It's like, are you actually, it's like football coaches do this way and players. Are you actually like living on a couch for $50 a month?
Exactly.
Right? Are you not taking this, like, I want to see, if you can't afford to put actual dollars in, I want to see an entrepreneur that's sleeping, 6 guys on the floor, all of them eating top ramen, right? Exactly, because those are the guys that are going to make it because it's consistent, persistent behavior that you have.
They're all in.
Last question for both of you. With everything going on in your lives, you have great families, great health, great businesses. What do you think will drive you in the future? What really will motivate you when everything's said and done? What's that motivating factor?
Man, honestly, for me, with me being a father of 3, I think my kids, man. My kids will motivate me just seeing them grow, seeing the passion that I have for certain things in life, growing up from where we came from. and instilling that hard work and that dedication in my three kids would be huge for me, honestly.
I think of Kobe Bryant, he's dedicated to his kids as well. He has 3 daughters, but it's all, I always say, kids watch us, they don't listen to us.
Right.
They expect, wait till they're teenagers. They ain't gonna listen, but they're gonna watch you. And so we really, really want to make sure, and I'm glad that they're watching you. More kids should watch you. How about you, Mike? What motivates you? Because I don't have kids yet.
Right. I think what motivates.
I'm motivated by having kids.
Everything.
No, I think what motivates me is just, providing an avenue for other people like myself. That you don't have to be a pro athlete to be successful. You can be the entrepreneur, you can be the business owner, you can, own that tech company. And that motivates me because you don't see a lot of, people like myself, especially minorities, you don't see us in the tech field. We're not there, we're just not there. So I know that there's gonna be a lot of, kids and other people who can look at me and say, oh man, that person looks like me and look where he's at. That's big.
That's awesome. We all know if they can't see it, they can't achieve it.
Right.
There's tons of great stories about that. And I'm just so blessed to have met both of you. I am of service to you, so anything I can do to help. I know a ton of entrepreneurs are going to appreciate the advice that you gave them.
Absolutely.
But, said and done, 2 great entrepreneurs.
Thank you.
More importantly, 2 great sons and father. But 2 great sons. And your mom, I know is important to you like my mom. So I want to make a shout out to their mom. Great job. I hope my son ends up like these 2 boys because they're incredible.
Mom. Shout out to my mom. Thanks, Mom.
Gloria
Orakpo.
There you got it. We got Mike, Brian Orakpo with Dave Meltzer, Entrepreneurs, The Playbook.